and those unfoldings along the way. That's the joy in the journey. That's where you begin to accept the power of your being. That's when you begin to accept that this world in which you live, this diverse world, you keep thinking that there is one truth that you are all seeking, and that is not the way that it is. You are billions of people individually creating your own reality, and the universe and your inner beings and all of the factors at large and the cooperative components will gather in order to give you the world that you are choosing to create. Choosing to create deliberately or choosing to create by default. And when you stop trying to find a truth and getting other people to subscribe to your truth and to follow your tracks to your truth, and you instead accept that this is a world that's being formed out of vibration, and that the diversity and the potential of diversity is what it is all about. You didn't come into this body to say to each other, is all about. You didn't come into this body to say to each other, let's all get together and create the same things. You said, let's all get together and create the things that are individually important to us. And law of attraction will bring those of us together who are receiving benefit from being together. This is a creative workshop of the most enormous and immense proportion. And you get to be the thinker of, the receiver of, the perceiver of the creation of your experience. And this is the best time to tell you that there is nothing off limits for you. There is nothing that is outside your ability to be it or have it or create it. In other words, you get to be, do, or have anything that you choose. And this life experience is all queued up to help you in the process of it. And so now, as you begin taking these baby, talk about blue glass and feathers and butterflies, and then you'll watch the universe deliver them to you as if to say, oh, you said you wanted that, here's some of that. Oh, you said you wanted that, here's some of that. Here's some of that, here's some of that. As you begin to make the association between the life that you lived that caused the desire to formulate within you, and then the willingness to focus in a way that you felt satisfaction in that desire. And then you discover that that was all that was required for the cooperative universe to yield to you the pieces for it to be more satisfying and more satisfying and more satisfying. Then you're off and running. Then you're creating your own reality. Esther said to a friend the other day, ooh, I'm feeling so invincible and I'm feeling so powerful. And I'm watching world events and I'm watching events up close to me and sort of far away from me. And now I realize that my work is to live enough life to decide how I want to focus, what it is I want to become. I don't want to run over the tops of others who are creating their own reality. I only want to create my own reality, and I want others to create their own reality, and I want us to all... Ooh, that's so big we want to shout it at you. You don't get in the way of each other's reality. You only get in the way of your own reality, you see. So if you can let others just be whoever they be and choose whatever they choose, whether they're choosing it deliberately or by default, and you give your attention to what you want, and you practice holding your thoughts in a place that feels satisfying to you, and then you watch the universal forces bring to you the path of discovery and the path of being and doing and having, you will discover your personal awareness of your power and your importance and your reason for being. Let's witness our expansion of the universe. Let's witness the part that I am personally playing in the expansion of the universe. Let me witness the part that I put in the vortex and the part that I lined up with and the part that's unfolding. And let me witness it dovetailing with others like me. Let me get my own hands in the clay and let me revel in the creation of the universe. Not so much just witness it, but witness the becoming of it. Let me take joy in the contrasting the becoming of it. Let me take joy in the contrasting experience that caused me to do step one and put something in the vortex, and let me witness step two as source answers, because I can feel source on it, even though I don't know where it's going to come from or when or who's going to bring it or how it's going to come about. I just know what I want and why I want it, and I'm reveling in the fullness of the why of it, and I trust, I have complete faith that the becoming of it, the expansion of it, is a sure thing. The expansion is a sure thing. I just want to watch it expand with my eyes wide open, and I want to know my part in the expansion. I want to revel in the part that I played in this expansion. That's why we're here talking with you. You're causing the universe to expand, but most of you don't know it. And so you're not taking pleasure from anything until it manifests, and then it's very short-lived. We want you to take pleasure as you put it in the vortex, and pleasure knowing that it's in there. And we want you to be in the receiving mode, so you're watching the cooperative components coming together. We want you to revel in what Esther calls the magic of the universe. She knows it's not magic, but oh, it's so fun when she gets on one of those runs and she just watches things pop, 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 pop. And she will say to herself or to whatever friend she's playing with at the time, you know, we did this, but not only us did it, so much more did it, and it's so much bigger than the one of us or the two of us or the more of us. In other words, it's this exponential expansion that we all get to get in on and have the ride of, you see. You came to accept your absolute freedom, to acknowledge it and accept it. You're so free, you can choose thoughts that bind you forever. You're so free, you can choose. You came with three intentions: the acceptance of freedom, and the seeking of joy, which is the seeking of alignment, the seeking of connection, the seeking of recognizing your vortex, the seeking of syncing with your vortex, seeking and seeking that alignment, so that you can then witness the expansion. Piece by piece, thought by thought, a little bit by a little bit, and others to witness it, the feeling of you being in on that. You know, the universe just expanded and gave you a thought or gave you an experience that you are responsible for, you magnificent creative genius, you see. After, everly happily ever after, always happy that you brought me this contrasting experience, and happy that I launched this rocket, and happy that the universe is on it, and happy that my inner being is aware, and happy that I'm in the receptive mode, and happy that I know how to be in the receptive mode, and happy that I am in the receptive mode, and happy that I receive this feeling and this thought and this feeling and this thought, happy that I get to witness this wonderful thing and this wonderful thing and this wonderful thing, happy that I get to rendezvous with this other one and this other one and this other one and this other one that's doing the same thing, happy that we get this synergy of all of us being together, happy that law of attraction is putting us in clusters, so that those of us that are in this vibrational vicinity are coming together, and those that are in other vibrational vicinities are coming together, because we really don't understand anybody that's in a different vibrational vicinity than we do anyway, do we? It's going to be a really good day. Really good day. It's a really good time to be in physical form and to know what you know. You have so much leverage when you connect to this energy. It's not just the leverage and the power and then the results and productivity that comes from it. And when that's all there, but it's the joyful journey along the way. It's the pieces. Every piece of that was fun. The idea was fun. It felt so good, those first ideas. Ooh, the discovery was fun. Pushing that button was fun because of what it did next. And then trying that and then trying that. It was fun, and then 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 it was really fun, and it's not done. You see, life is supposed to be satisfying to you. So that gives you to stop trying to please someone else in your life and reach for the satisfaction that confirms your connection to the energy that will really allow you to do wonderful things with them and for them, you see. Most people, in their struggle and in their effort, you're just sort of eking out a mediocre life. But when you connect to this energy, to this foresight, to this understanding, it's a big deal. It's a wonderful thing that happens when you're willing to come and play with us and focus with us and allow your energy to rise. It did. And the benefit of that will be evident to you as you move forward in the hours and days that follow. We want you to give yourself credit for your willingness to tune to the frequency of who you really are. And we want you to take it easy. We want you to care about the receiving mode and to realize that Source is already aware of the work that you've done and is already appreciating the work that you've done. And now it's time for you to cash in your vibrational chips and allow all of that that's in your vortex to flow seamlessly into your life experience. But you got to get into the vibrational equivalency of the things that you've asked for. Your vortex is very high flying. Think about the evolution of your species. Think about the evolution of your time and place. Think about how much is in place before you got here. Before you got here this time. Before you got here in this personality. So much has been desired and achieved so that it is not just a vortexual reality, it is a reality that you were born into. And so you might say, well, thank goodness we're not spending all of our time scrounging for food this time. Isn't it nice that we've evolved to the state that we have a higher level of comfort? The disadvantage of it is that you become complacent in it. The advantage of it is that you could feel more satisfaction if you would allow yourself to. So we know for sure that understanding the way it all works is necessary for you to feel satisfaction, because you could be born to very productive parents who figured out how to make their life work, and they could yield to you plenty of the things that in human terms are measurable resources and benefits, and others who are looking at you would say, oh, you are the beneficiary of so much, you are such a lucky person, and we would say, not so much, because the satisfaction factor is based upon what your life has caused you to ask for and the degree to which you have been able to close that gap. It hasn't got anything to do with what somebody else created and gave to you. Now, some might say, but, and when you get that, when you understand that this is your peace, that satisfaction is the peace for you, and you become an expert at being satisfied, then you become the deliberate creator of all deliberate creators, because every wish, every whim, every idea, every fantasy, every hope, every thought you ever thought about anything being better for you or anyone else is realized by you, because you're right there queued up in the receptive mode. And when the first thoughts start flowing and you recognize what's happening and you know you're in the zone and you acknowledge why it's happening and you commit to doing more of whatever it was that put you there, and then you get into this satisfying lifetime run of things just unfolding for you. And many others standing back in amazement because they've forgotten the equation. They don't know how important it is to be satisfied. They think that these circumstances mean that they should be dissatisfied, and they believe that things have to change and the conditions have to change and that others have to be provoked or lured or demanded into some different behavior so that they can feel better. And they remain lost while you find yourself. And the more found you are, the more of them look at you and say, hey, how'd you find yourself? And you say, quit worrying about what all of you are doing. Start looking at the bigger picture. Started stepping back into the universal equation. Started being more law-based. Started paying attention to the things that I know for sure. Oh, what things are those? Well, you really want to know? Yeah, I really want to know. Well, I figured out a little bit by trial and error that I can't stop wanting things, and that it's good that it's that way. And then I found out that everything I want is in a form of becoming. You know. And when you know them, then you trust them. And once you've got that, then you feel invincible. Then you know. Happy to know that I'm never going to stop asking. I've learned to be satisfied even though a whole lot of what I want is still in the process of becoming. That's the trick. That's the key. A whole lot that I want is still in the process of becoming, but I'm still satisfied. And you got to be that way, because in every moment of every day, you're putting more in the vortex that's in the beginning stages. If you need it all to manifest before you're happy, you're not ever going to be happy. And that's something to celebrate, that it's not all ever going to be done, because then we'd all really be dead. This is what puts the eternalness in eternity. It's this willingness, this new willingness that you felt when you decided to come into this body, and you said, I'm willing to explore contrast, and I'm willing to choose new, and I'm willing to line up with new, and I'm willing to tune into new.